Snowstorms had a cruel habit of swallowing every sound, as if winter wanted the world to stay silent while it chose its next victim. On a brutal December night, the city streets were almost empty, only a few shadows rushing through the cold, desperate to escape the biting wind. Headlights slid across frozen pavement, the ice shimmering like glass. Under a flickering streetlight, near the entrance of a tall corporate tower, a fragile figure sat curled against a wall. Her clothes were torn and wet, her skin frighteningly pale, and each breath she exhaled drifted into the night like a fragile cloud. She looked like a life the world had left behind. A little girl in a red coat tugged at her father's sleeve, her small voice trembling as she pointed toward the figure. "Daddy, please help her." That soft plea, spoken with innocent urgency, became the moment that changed multiple lives forever. Lucien Frost, a respected executive known both for his sharp business decisions and his gentle fatherhood, looked where his daughter Aisha pointed. His heart tightened. The young woman on the ground seemed barely in her 20s, snow settling into her hair, and her soaked blanket did nothing against the cold. When Lucian knelt beside her, she didn't even react. She was too weak to lift her head. He realized instantly, this wasn't just about kindness. This was life or death. He wrapped his own coat around her shoulders and lifted her carefully, while Aisha clung to his arm, her eyes wide with worry. Together they hurried through the swirling snow toward their car, unsure what tomorrow would bring, but knowing they couldn't just walk away. Her name, they would learn later, was Eloane Vale. Intelligent, thoughtful, once full of dreams, but life had pushed her too far. She had aged out of the foster care system, lost her job to layoffs, and then her savings were stolen. Every piece of stability vanished, and she was swept into a storm she couldn't stop. During her early days of recovery, she spoke quietly, her voice trembling from both the cold she had survived and the memories she wished she could forget. Lucian offered her a room, warm meals, safety, and dignity. Nothing extravagant, just simple human kindness. She resisted at first, ashamed of needing help, but Aisha would sit beside her each day, offering drawings, stories, and tiny smiles that stitched something hopeful back into Eloane's heart. Slowly, her strength returned. She helped around the house, then assisted Lucian with small tasks, trying to repay a kindness she felt she didn't deserve. Lucian noticed how determined she was, how deeply she appreciated every gesture. She never asked for more. She only wanted to stand on her own 2 feet again. When spring arrived, brighter and full of new warmth, Eloane decided it was time to leave. Lucian offered her a position at his company, but she gently refused. She wanted to rebuild her life with her own effort, not by leaning on gratitude. So she stepped back out into the world, carrying the memory of that freezing night as the moment that saved her. Aisha cried when she left, and Eloane promised she would stay in touch, but life moved quickly. Months turned into years. Lucian often wondered what became of her, and Aisha, growing older, never forgot. Neither of them could have imagined she would return in a way no one expected. 7 years passed. At a grand charity gala hosted by Frost Enterprises, chandeliers shimmered above elegant guests in evening attire. The night revealed a massive new initiative to support homeless youth with shelter, education, and career opportunities. Lucian had personally funded much of it, inspired by a winter night he would never forget. When the keynote speaker walked onto the stage, the room fell silent. Eloane Vale stood before them confident, composed, and radiant. She looked completely transformed. She was now the founder of a growing nonprofit dedicated to helping young homeless women, providing them with safety, counseling, and opportunity. She spoke with steady emotion, sharing her journey honestly, not hiding the nights she slept on cold pavement or the mornings she wondered if her life was over. Then her voice softened. She said her life had been saved not by luck, but because a father and his daughter refused to walk past her pain. She explained that every woman her organization helped was a ripple from the kindness she had once received. Lucian felt his throat tighten. Aisha, now a teenager, wiped tears from her eyes as she realized that the girl they had saved was now saving others. Their eyes met across the room, and without a word, they remembered everything they once shared on those freezing streets. After the applause faded, Eloane walked directly to them. She told Lucian she had studied relentlessly, worked multiple jobs, volunteered, and built her life piece by piece because she wanted her future to honor the kindness she had been shown. She didn't return only to say thank you. She returned because she wanted to continue the mission, with them creating a world where no one was left sleeping against cold concrete. Aisha hugged her tightly, just as she had wanted to all those years ago. Eloane closed her eyes, letting the warmth of belonging fill the space that had once been so cold and empty. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and comment. Your support helps these stories reach more hearts around the world. Before you go, tell us in the comments what lesson from Eloane's journey inspired you the most. Thanks for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to World of Kindness for more stories that restore your faith in humanity.